Mahatma Gandhi once said, "It is wrong and immoral for one to seek to escape from the consequences of his acts." Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode on Force Culture. On this episode, we'll be talking about accountability. Everything you need to know about accountability. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We have here with us a special guest. He's a friend of the Force Culture community. He's been here before where we talk about depression and all that. But today we're talking about a different thing. It's none other than Chimezirim. You're welcome to Force Culture.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back.
Thank you. You know what we're discussing about already?
Yes, accountability.
Accountability. The reason why we need to be accountable, especially with the young ones. We don't think it's important to be accountable to ourselves, our family, and the society at large. Just sit back and enjoy this conversation with Chimezirim. So we're talking about accountability. Let's get straight to the business. What is accountability according to law? Because he's a lawyer, so from the legal view.
The definition, the legal definition is not watertight. It's just a loose definition, but you can say it's the state of being liable, culpable, or answerable, maybe in a civil or a criminal suit. Yeah. So.
Did you hear that? So, from the layman definition, the way we understand accountability to be from the layman's angle, is you being responsible, taking account for every of your action. You taking responsibility for your actions.
Yes.
From the layman's definition. So, what is accountability to you?
So it's the I can say it's the obligation or the willingness to accept responsibility for one's actions or conduct.
Okay.
So it's you understanding and appreciating that for every action there is a consequence. So it captures not just the being accountable or responsible for the bad parts, everything about you, your life, your relationships, your Christian life, your career, your education. It's just accepting that in everything you do there will be consequences and that you must own it. So accountability is more of owning your actions and owning the consequences. Yeah.
Did you hear? Everything you do, every decisions, everything you do, just know that there are consequences following those. It might be good, it might be bad, or you have to own it. So the next question now is, what is the importance of accountability? Why is this so important?
Okay. It's important to be accountable because it allows you to stop blaming people. So self-pity and because a lot of the time, more young people, old people, human beings generally, we are more adept at shifting blame. Pity culture. You want to, when you have an issue, you prefer to blame it on the system or on someone, a relation, a friend, a colleague, your teacher, instead of taking responsibility for your actions. So when you become accountable to yourself, when you start owning it, then you understand that the buck lies with you, not with another person. Yeah. So, and again, it helps you to locate the root cause of your problem or your hurdle. You might be battling with a lot of things, but because you're busy looking at other sources apart from yourself, you don't understand what the problem is, the foundation. It will also help you to set goals and to pursue your goals. Because when you are accountable, that you streamline yourself, you know what you want to achieve, and you can pursue it with a clear mind and achieve it. And setting it helps you to become responsible, obviously.
There's so many things, benefits that you can get while just being accountable. So is there any difference between accountability and responsibility?
Yes.
Two things kind of
sound I think they sound alike, but accountability is you owning the consequences of your actions. So you can't shift it. Your responsibility you can farm out. You can be responsible for cleaning this place, but you can get other people to do it for you. But at the end of the day, if it's not done and you're the one accountable, you can't say, I told this guy it won't work, because you must own it. You're the one who was supposed to do it. So I think there's a difference. And again, in the context of our discussion, if you say someone is accountable, it doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't make it positive, because if you are owning the consequences of all your actions, if someone smokes, for instance, and has and gets cancer from smoking, it's not, he can own it. This is how I got the lung cancer, I was smoking, but it doesn't make him responsible. So probably tilts towards the positive angle only, but accountability, I think, covers all aspects. Yes.
So, is there any benefits for being accountable to someone?
Yes, certainly. I think if you are accountable to the right person, then you can be sure that you will get someone who is going to tell you the truth without fear or favor, someone that will give you feedback, someone who will encourage you in your journey, someone who will motivate you, someone who you can go back to for guidance, probably someone who has told the path you are trying to do, so he's in a better position to advise you and tell you what to do and what not to do.
Okay. So I think there's so many benefits for being accountable to someone, you being accountable to someone. I'll tell you of mine, because when you work and everything you do involves finance, you being accountable to someone is even for your own good. At the end of the day, they keep so much on your hands to take care of. If you're not careful, you go and spend out of it. At the end of the day, payback, spending is also it's payback that is the cocoa. But when you are accountable to someone, the moment they give you those money, okay, take this under your possession, you are meant to lodge it in immediately to the bank. And you come with tellers, because you have internal auditor that will check all those things to know that, okay, everything that was given to you, you lodge appropriately. At the end of the day, to save you a whole lot of things, spending, integrity-wise, and so many other benefits you can get from it. I tell you, account to the right people. Be accountable to the right people, not the wrong people. To do a whole lot of things. So now, is there any consequences of not being accountable to anyone?
I don't think there is a straightjacket answer for that question, because it would depend on the circumstances of each case, because there is something you call self-accountability. So yeah, so if I think that's so, there's a possibility that someone will not be accountable to any other person but himself, and he will achieve great results.
Yeah.
But then there are some journeys you'll be on. Maybe you're a person who is fighting an addiction, for instance, where you'll be best served if there is someone who you are accountable to. So, but if in a scenario where you're supposed to be accountable to someone, you are not accountable to anyone, then you will struggle. You will struggle. You also fail to get reasonable feedback, because in life feedback is important. You can be having issues and you don't know where your problem is coming from, because you are looking at it from a biased perspective, your own perspective. So a third party, a neutral third party, can tell you that this is what the problem is. You are the problem, not this circumstance, not this person. Yeah, and just like being at the advantages of being accountable to someone. So on the flip side, your goals, you might struggle with being responsible. When you don't own your actions, you will struggle to pursue goals, to define your goals and pursue them. So yeah.
So another one is, when you are not accountable to anyone, one of the consequences is you end up blaming people for everything that goes wrong in your life. You don't want to take responsibility for it. You end up blaming people. But most times, self-accountability is important. At the same time, get people to be accountable to. When you know that you have a serious mission in life, you have to be accountable to someone. Thank you so much for coming. It's always amazing to have you.
Thank you.
So just one word before we leave, one word for the person out there struggling for self-accountability. What do you have for such?
If you want to succeed in life, then it's imperative, it's important that you learn to be accountable to yourself. You must own your actions. You must accept the consequences. And then you must stop blaming people. So if you look inwards instead of looking outwards, then that's the first step towards achieving greatness. Thank you
so much. We've all heard that. So you have to be accountable, take responsibility for your actions. It's so important. Don't forget to share this with people who need to hear this. Thank you so much for watching today's episode on First Culture. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your notification bell, let the comments keep coming, as we appreciate all comments. We love you so much, and do stay inspired always.